Hello. Hello, good day. My name is Davis Bamigoy. Thank you for joining and watching the broadcast. Today, I want to talk about a message that has been coming to me consistently from some of my followers, and it's about how do you find the perfect spouse? Okay, and as you can see in the headline, it says, Lord, I need a wife. All right, which means that it's a heart cry that I need a wife. I need someone to call my own. I need someone who's going to be the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. All right, so it's a good thing. All right, so what I want to do today is just basically talk about the kind of things you should think about, the way to go about it, so that when you have that desire to get married, maybe out of the fact that you're getting to a certain age, or because you don't want to live alone, or because you need some sort of companionship, whatever your reason for getting married, it's important to know that there's a process to it. Now, what I want to talk about quickly is that marriage is a good thing. You see, in the book of Proverbs, I believe it's in verse 18. Let me check my note here. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 22. The Bible says that he that finds a wife finds what is enjoyable and receives a pleasurable gift from the Lord. What that is saying is that if you find a wife, you have found a good thing and you receive blessings from God. Now, if you go to James chapter 1, verse 17, the Bible says all good and perfect gifts comes from God. Okay, so which means that if you have a desire to find a wife, is a good thing. Okay, either finds a wife, finds a good thing. Okay, and obtains favor from the Lord. It seems to suggest that you're finding a wife. The resultant effect of finding a wife is that you receive more blessings from God. Okay, now whether that turns out to be true in everybody's life or not is a separate conversation, because some people have gotten married, their lives have gotten better and better, because two shall chase 10,000. The Bible says one shall chase 1,000, two shall chase 10,000. So many have gotten married and their lives just gone better because of the power of collaboration. They work together, one vision, and they go in the right direction. Others have gotten married and things have not really gone well for them. But it is not the fault of God. What this is saying is that God, from his own point of view, pronounces blessings upon people when they get married. Why is that? Because in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, God said that it is not good for man to be alone. God is the one who instituted the marriage as an institution. God is the one who initiated it. And the reason why he did that is so that we can replenish the earth, so that we can basically make the world to become not desolate. So God created the world to be inhabited. And the only way for the heart to be inhabited is if we all come together and propagate. We reproduce ourselves. We reproduce the God kind of people all over the world. Now, okay, so since it's a good thing to have the desire to get married, what should you do when you're about to get married? Well, the desire to get married is a good thing, as I've said before. But if you're thinking about getting married and you are a man, there are some things that you must think about. I put some notes in here. It's not exhaustive, but it's quite important to know that, number one, you must have a vision for your home. Getting married is just about satisfying your sexual drive, or just so that you don't mess about, or just so you can just have children. No, being married requires a lot of responsibility. Actually, it suggests that you are responsible to bringing a home together. Now, remember that the home is a foundation of the society, which means that if I want to destroy any society, I just need to begin to attack families. Once I begin to attack families, it's just a matter of time that the home that the community will be destroyed. Okay, so when you're coming to get married, or you're planning to get married, what this suggests is that you are in the process of forming a community, of ensuring that our world becomes a better place. So it is important, therefore, that you have a vision for your home. What kind of home do you want? What kind of home do you want? Do you have that image in your mind? Do you have that picture in your mind? Can you visualize the home, the way it's going to look like, the kind of people the kind of children you're going to bring up into the world, the kind of wife you want to marry? Do you have a vision for your home? What kind of home do you want? I know that nobody ever wants a home that is a scatterbox, or a home that is not appropriate. But you must have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you cannot attract what you have not visualized. The second thing is that if you're a man, you must have a job. You must have a job. You see, it is irresponsible to think of getting married and you don't have a job. You don't have a means of making money or a means of being able to take care of your wife. You see, because if you cannot take care of yourself, how can you then burden yourself taking care of another person? All right. So now, and this is very important because in book of Genesis chapter 2, I believe it's in verse 16, the Bible says that God created a garden in Eden and God put the man there to till the ground and to cultivate it. So you see, therefore, God already made all the provision that man needs. Okay, and then God puts the man in the garden to begin to do some work there, to create an environment, to till the ground, to produce, to become fruitful. Then later, God said, it's not good for man to be alone. Let me go and find a help that is suitable for him. And then God brought Eve. God created Eve out of man, to make them a couple. All right, which means that if you don't have what it takes to take care of your wife, you have no business going to get married. All right. So the first thing you must pay attention to is ask yourself the question: what's my vision? Do I have a job, or do I have a means of taking care of my family? All right. Do I have a job at hand that I can work on? The other point I've got here is called self-leadership. You see, self-leadership means you are disciplined. You can lead yourself. You can make decisions by yourself. You can set a goal. You can follow through. Now, if you are the man, by God's desire, you are meant to be the head of the home, correct? So now imagine if you don't have self-leadership, you cannot lead yourself. You cannot make decisions. You cannot plan for the future. How can you hope to lead somebody else? Now, when I use the word lead somebody else, I'm not talking about making somebody to be subservient to you. I'm talking about, creating a vision, a direction, a pathway, because God expects that the man is a priest in the house. Okay. Now the fourth one is enjoy your own company. You see, if you don't enjoy your company, if you don't even love yourself, you don't love spending time alone with yourself, when you get married, it's going to become what we call a codependent relationship, where you always depend on your spouse to be able to do anything at all. That's not God's desire for you. You have to understand first and foremost, that you are an independent person, that God created you unique by yourself. When the two of you come together, you are meant to complement one another. You're not meant to become a shadow of your wife, or your wife become a shadow of you. All right, you are meant to complement one another, and that is why it is important for you to be able to enjoy your own company. Do you spend some time alone? Do you enjoy cooking alone? Do you enjoy taking care of the home alone? Can you stay alone by yourself without another person? I needed to cling to somebody else to make your life whole. Now, so you should also be able to take care of another. You think about it this way. If you can't even take care of your own siblings, let's say you got brothers and sisters, you can't take care of them, look after them, how can you hope to be able to take care of a woman? How can you do that? It's not possible, okay? The fifth one here is seek godly counsel. Seek godly counsel. What does that mean? It means, you see, it is God can help you to select your wife. You see, I used to tell my story that when I wanted to get married for 2 years, I was praying every day. And I was asking God to bring my wife to me. And you see, when I saw her, the Spirit of God told me and said, that's the one. And that is what you mean by seeking godly counsel, which means you ask God to lead you to the right person. And God will give you. The Bible says that, when we ask God, God is a good God who gives without holding back. All right. God gives us without holding back. All right. So you must ask God and be prayerful. Be prayerful about it. Now, when some people want to get married, they have a checklist. In my time, I didn't have a checklist. I just said, the only checklist I've got is I need a virtuous woman. And whether she then come up to become a doctor or become something else is toppings on the cake. What I really was looking for was somebody who fears the Lord, so that through thick and thin, that person sticks with you. That is the kind of prayer you must ask. Now, when you pray for God for that, you must believe that God will give the person to you. The other point I've got here is be presentable, guys. Okay, if you're the one who wants to go and get married to, you're in the market to go and find somebody, you must be presentable. What does that mean? It means you must be clean shaven. It means you must take care of yourself. You must look well. Don't look like a scruffy person and expect to attract the right person. Because there's a saying that says birds of the same feather flock together, which means that the way you present yourself, you're going to attract the same kind of person to yourself. All right. So make sure you're presentable. Take care of your breath. Take care of your face, take care of yourself, present yourself very well. All right. Obviously, learn gentlemanliness. Gentlemanliness means the ability to be able to take care of a woman as a woman, to respect them, to watch over them, to really respect them and not treat them like a piece of trash. Okay. So that is the kind of person you have to cultivate that habit, and you can cultivate it. You can cultivate it. And as you cultivate this will then help you to become attracted to the kind of person that you are looking for. Finally, because I know my time is up, is try if you're a guy who is too serious, it's going to be a bit challenging to attract the right kind of person. You're too serious, you like everything has to be like this, like that, like that. Take it easy, enjoy life, have fun. Be somebody who can have fun at yourself, laugh at yourself, enjoy yourself. All right. And as you begin to think about those things, you begin to present yourself in this way, I'm sure the right person will come to you. Like I said, my story is essentially depending on God, for 2 years of praying, and at the right time, God brought the woman to me, and I'm so grateful for that. All right. But the same thing can happen for you. All right. So remember, the desire to marry is a good thing, but you must fulfill certain principles enlisted here. I'm sure there are more, from other people before you can then say, I'm ready to get married. All right. Most importantly for me is the fact that you must have a job. All right. You must have a job that you can take care of your family. If not, you have no business going to say you want to get married, or you must have something that you do. When I say job doesn't necessarily mean a 9-to-5 job, but at least you have an enterprise. You have something that you can put into,